Howdy, folks. Justin here.
Howdy, folks. Andy here.
Welcome to part two, the second final part of our Ask Me Anything Q&A session.
Yeah. So here we go.
Let's start it right here.
So,
Lucky Johnson asks, what card do you think has the most personality shown from only the voice lines, card art, and text?
so before this Q&A, I looked through all the cards because I don't know them, and I just picked some that I think look pretty artsy. But since I don't know how to pronounce them, Justin will do the honors.
Okay, we have U-Shield, Master of Thieves, Merchant's Camel, Slaughterfish Spawning, and Odoving from Sandra. For myself, I can't remember who says it, but the Argonian who says, blood on the waters. I like that one a lot. I also like his speaker is Mud and Mayhem, Night Shadows, Your Pain is Delicious, and basically all the Khajiit and like the Argonians, the weird ones. Daring Cutpurses, both of them those are great when he says, they make it too easy. And, yeah.
I like those. And the reasons I picked mine is because, I don't know, they just look really nice. I think the camel one looks like a Renaissance painting.
The artwork in this game is beautiful.
I think usually on Sundays with Sandy when I pick cards, since I don't care to read what they say, just base it off of the design.
Awesome.
So,
Alright, so Lucky Johnson also asks, who is your favorite photographer?
my favorite photographer would be Sarah Vitale. I like her work, and she inspired me to do my own photography, so I would go with her.
Cool. Mabo asks, do you think books are a dying medium? By the way, what is your favorite book? Mine is The Elven by Bernard Hennen. Even if it sounds like a standard fantasy novel, it's great and much more than that. So my favorite like genre novel is I'll get to the philosophical part of your question in just a second. My favorite like genre novel is Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card. Um, Although, because here's the thing: when you're in prison, you got a lot of free time on your hands. I read a ton of books,
Hundreds.
hundreds of books easily, and it's not that I wasn't like literate beforehand, but I definitely didn't give a shit. Um, and so I read a ton of books, and it's a lot of the stuff isn't particularly like esoteric material. It's not the sort of stuff that you'd find in a collector's collection. It's the sort of stuff that like a prison library would have a copy of. But I read a ton of books. But Speaker for the Dead really spoke to me. I really enjoyed that book. Other books that aren't like genre fiction, as far as those go, I just read A Thousand Splendid Suns. I thought that was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. My favorite none. Man, I just keep coming back to like science fiction and stuff. It's tough not to be a total nerd, right? Because like that's what I am. I'll have to think about that while I answer your first question. Do I think books are a dying medium? Ultimately, I feel like it's, of course, like the printing of books will end.
I think it would be replaced by something else. You like graphic novels
Yeah, I do read graphic
in
novels
general,
too,
so
but I mean like we have tablets that we can put books on already. Like printing them is sort of just like a indulgence at this point. So of course books will go away. People will continue to read. I hope at least until we like directly jack in to the Matrix. But yeah, it's ultimately it has to happen. That said, I love the feel of a book. I don't like reading anything on a tablet. I tried it with a textbook one time and I didn't enjoy it. I don't like reading comic books or graphic novels online. Bonus answer: my favorite graphic novels are Lucifer by Mike Carey, Transmetropolitan by Warren Ellis. I guess I should include the artist. Lucifer is Peter Gross. Transmetropolitan is Derek Robertson. And I actually met Derek Robertson years ago. Um, we went and saw The Matrix together, actually. This is the second Matrix movie. Because I have lived an interesting life.
also I think with books it also depends what type of books. Like I collect art books, but there's little to no words in them. There's just pictures, so
Yeah.
I think it should depend.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. Alrighty. Tyler asks, how is it living in Colorado? I've always wanted to move there as I absolutely love the mountains and the snow. We have had no snow at all this winter.
Yeah, that's true. It's like 75 degrees outside today. It was like 80 a couple days in March already in winter. So yeah, I mean,
Oh, how about you're not from Colorado? How do you like Colorado?
I like Colorado a lot. It's the nicest place I've ever lived. I have lived, I mean, just for clarity, I've lived in Kansas City. I lived in a prison in Leavenworth, Kansas. I have lived in the suburbs of Johnson County, Kansas. I have lived in Vermilion, South Dakota, and I have lived in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Um, it's definitely the nicest place I've ever lived. The people are nice. It's sort of like a cultural oasis in the middle of the Midwest. People are pretty friendly and open-minded. As a vegetarian, I appreciate the fact that I can actually eat food at restaurants around here, so that's nice. And it is gorgeous. Like I look out the front door, I see the Rocky Mountains. It's amazing. They're snow-capped right now. It's absolutely beautiful. It's cool. I love it here a lot. Got a picture of some snow right there in the slideshow. So it does snow here sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Shi Chao Ma was asking a question about hero powers from Hearthstone, support cards and legends, and what I feel about it. He wrote a long question, so that's how I'm going to summarize it. Um, so I think that hero powers are sort of like a band-aid on a fundamental design flaw in Hearthstone, where like there's just there's not a lot to do. The cards are all real boring and straightforward. In Legends, there are a lot more decisions to make in general, and I wouldn't want to add hero powers. Now, more neutral support cards are something I'm not opposed to, but I think that if Legends focuses on the variance achieved in a game by drawing cards, which I think the prophecy mechanic is an extension of, then they don't need to worry so much about. Where was I going with this? I had a really, really like coherent point. Oh, as opposed to the RNG elements of like every card in Hearthstone, um, then they'll introduce an appropriate amount of difference from each game to game, without having to like provide things like a hero power in order to have some semblance of balance. Not even balance, but like consistency, right? I think Legends does a pretty good job of balancing that, and that's ultimately why, like, even though I get just as pissed as I'm sure most people do when I get that game-losing prophecy against me, um, I think the prophecy mechanic is pretty good. I like it.
Devin Monroe asked, "What things frustrate you most about TESL from an objective standpoint?"
Yeah, well, this is perfect segue from a previous question. Yeah, I think that in any given situation, like objectively, the most irritating thing that happens is the prophecy that loses you the game when you would win otherwise. Uh, it's frustrating. You can do a lot to play around those sorts of things, but you can't do everything. In particular, like the removal ones, like the best prophecies, in my opinion, are the ones that can stop the flow of combat. So, Shrieking Harpy, Cloudrest Illusionist, Fighters Guild Recruit, Faroon Defender, Lightning Bolt, and Piercing Javelin. Lightning Bolt is the only one I sort of take exception to, just because there is no counterplay if you're at 4 life and you trigger an opposing prophesied Lightning Bolt. Whereas the rest of these, if you prepare for it, like you can do something about a large percentage of the time. In these cases, you just can't. So that's super frustrating. Other frustrating things include, I don't know, the ubiquity of certain cards being like the fact that Shadowfen Priest is in every purple deck is a little irritating. I think it limits the amount of fun you can have with support cards. Um, Again, I don't know that that card needs to be nerfed necessarily, but it makes me less likely to try to play Heroic Rebirth in an Archer deck like I did for a couple of days, because everybody's running answers to it. Of course, that deck was running Vicious Drag, so I don't have a whole lot of room to complain. But other than that, the fact that we have been playing with mostly the same cards outside of the Madhouse collection and the monthly card rewards. I've been playing with those same cards since May of last year. Like, I need some new cards. I need some new cards so badly. The meta isn't. The meta is basically solved, I guess, is how I should put it. Vector 480 asks, "Congratulations on the 2.5K." Thank you, Vector. My question is, how do you see the future of the game? Do you think it's doomed to be a niche game? I think the future's bright. I've probably gone up 300 subscribers in the last couple weeks since release. The game's exploding, in my opinion. My viewership numbers are higher now than they were when the game was exploding back during initial open beta launch. And we haven't even hit the biggest markets yet, which are all the mobile devices. I think the future of the game is strong. Bethesda's got a lot of money. Pete Hines, DC Deacon, loves this game, talks about it quite a bit, very fondly. I think it's going to have a lot of support and a long future.
Ewan Walker asked, not really relevant, but what is the outro music? All music is from YouTube. We try to pick music that will allow us to monetize the videos, basically.
Yeah, it's all the cheaper stuff.
Hmm.
Because again, just keeping it 100, we've made a few $100 off this channel, off the ads.
Like 3.
Yeah,
And
and
that's it.
we what do we do? We bought a camera for you to use for photography.
Mhm.
It's basically it. Channel doesn't make any money, and I'm certainly not loaded enough myself to pay for the right to use music. So we just use the free stuff.
Yeah. And then, but his question is, as a new subscriber within the last week, welcome, do you upload any other game footage?
I've thought about it.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
we thought about Skyrim and
Yep.
some other civilization, but I think this one you like the most because you get to interact with people and it's just a fun game in general.
Yeah. So I do play Eternal. I tried Gwent, didn't really like it. Because I got a closed beta key, and I played it for a few days or a few weeks even, and there was something about it that I just wasn't what I was looking for. Although I recognize it's a well done game. I play Civilization 6 a lot. I play Elder Scrolls Online from time to time. I used to play a lot of Diablo 3, but because I'm not doing this because I want to be a successful content creator for YouTube or anything like that. I just do this because you guys are so positive, and I know how I feel when I'm watching people play games, and how much of a good experience that is for me, and how much it means to me to be able to watch those guys play the same games I love. Um, I just wanted to provide something like that. I wanted to be of service in this as I try to be in all things in life. So, you guys are the reason I keep doing this because everybody is so fantastic, and I think we have a good experience together. That's my thought on that.
Jesse Hogan asked, he asked a previous question on the other AMA, but he's asking, how long were you incarcerated for, Justin?
Okay, I've done about 3 years total. Plus, well, that was in the Department of Corrections prison, and did a bunch of time in jail through over the years too. Um, my sober date is May 7th, 2012, so I'm about to hit 5 years. And yeah, things have been nothing but great ever since. You know, I'm off parole. I've been off parole for a while now.
That's good.
I'm a free man. The only thing I can't do is own a firearm.
And swords.
Oh yeah, and swords, or crossbow, or a bow and arrow. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even that I think goes away after a while. But I mean, I can't say I just counting down the days to
So you can own a sword.
buy an AR-15 or something like that. It's not really my scene. Stanislav Semyonov. Sorry about butchering your name there, buddy. I apologize. Asks, I've seen challenge in Spanish with Sandra and saying some lines in Russian. So my question is about what foreign culture and language you're most interested in, or could you be potentially interested? I'll answer for myself real quick. I speak English. I speak awful Spanish.
That's awful.
I speak Spanish at a child's level.
Yeah.
I can read Spanish pretty well.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, I know a handful of words in German and Russian. The German's from going to Germany, spending some time there at one point, and because I have family members who speak German. That's about it.
Yeah.
Interested in other cultures. I love other cultures. I'm of the opinion that learning things can only make you a better person. So I try to expand my horizons all the time. Particular cultures I'm interested in. I don't know. I've always wanted to go to Vietnam.
Mhm. Sweet. And then for my answer, I'm Mexican, and my first language was Spanish. English was second. Last year I took French. In high school, I tried to learn Japanese, and then I learned Romanian, but I don't know any of them now. I just thought they were fascinating. Cultures now. I'm still interested in my culture, learning more. I'm interested in Japan, Thailand. I try to learn your culture, which is Germany. From German.
Some of them are from Germany. I don't know.
Some, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's usually it. Okay.
I worked really hard to make sure that my culture wasn't the trailer park, okay? Like, I know that sometimes when I come on camera, when Sandra's not around, my hair's all messy, my beard's all askew.
But that howdy is natural. Let's just
Yeah, I
put
do
this.
say howdy every day, actually, in my real life. But you have no idea how far I've come. I mean, like, pulled my own ass out of the trailer. Roger Babin asks, have you experimented with other CCG competitors since getting involved in the Elder Scrolls Legends? If so, can you briefly comment on how they compare in terms of positives and negatives against the Elder Scrolls Legends? Says, a lot of us came here from Hearthstone, potentially happy with its dependence on RNG or simply the state of the meta. But the Elder Scrolls Legends is just one of several popular competitors out there. Magic Duels, Shadowverse, Gwent, Hex, Duelist are all other options. Did you try several games before deciding on the Elder Scrolls Legends, or did you simply stumble upon Elder Scrolls Legends and stick with it? Um, Well, I played Magic for a long time, well, in prison, and I was interested in it like growing up, but I never had any money to spend on it. Um, when I got out, it was sort of prohibitively expensive. It just wasn't really practical. So I discovered Hearthstone as a way to play for free a card game. Hearthstone's kind of dumb. I'm not like the brightest guy in the world, but like it's easy to run out of interesting things to do in Hearthstone that are competitive very quickly. So I played a lot of Arena in Hearthstone. I drafted a lot. That kept my interest for a while. I tried Magic Duels. That's the thing on Steam, I think. I thought that was okay, but again, I didn't really have the time and energy to invest money into that. The money that it was going to take. Gwent, I've played. I enjoyed Gwent a lot in Witcher 3, but found the CCG version being that's in closed beta right now to be kind of boring, and the meta was kind of stale. I know it's closed beta, so things can change, so maybe it'll get better. But I understand the appeal of that game. It's just not what I'm looking for. I like a little spice in my game, and playing Gwent felt a lot to me like doing a bunch of math problems. Um, I tried Duelist. Uh, it was alright. I don't really like pixel art, but I think that was the biggest turnoff. Game itself was interesting mechanically. Never played Hex, never played Shadowverse, although I took a look at a couple screenshots, and as my understanding goes, it's basically Hearthstone with giant anime boobs. Um, that's not what I need. Yeah, so there you go. I tried a bunch of games. Elder Scrolls Legends just kind of spoke to me. I really enjoy Elder Scrolls, lore-wise, and here we are.
Yeah. Alright, Stouts asks, which class slash playstyle in Elder Scrolls Legends do you think best represents your personality?
Okay, I gotta go with Scout. In particular, Ramp Scout. I just like playing the biggest, coolest cards in the game. I like controlling the board through creature trading as opposed to just direct removal. And that's why it was the first deck that I played. I mean, if you look at the videos in this channel, like the first 2 months are just me playing the Scout ramp deck. And then Histgrove came out, and other people were playing Scout ramp decks too. And I was like, I gotta do something else. Yeah, because I got a little bit of that snowflake in me. Like I wanted to be different and play something different. So, um,
Which one am I?
which class are you?
Yeah.
Well, you could be Archer because like you're kind of spicy and like you're kind of sharp, and you also have some cuddly, cute-looking creatures.
Good answer. Okay. Uh,
As far as my actual personality, how I lived my day-to-day life, though, it's not Scout. It's probably Monk.
like a scuttler.
Yeah. No, Scuttlers are an Archer.
Oh.
Um, I'm a pretty peaceful person. In my profession, I help people all day. I'm very kind, and I just want to help people. I just want to be a good guy. I don't feel like I owe the world something, but like it's nice to like give something back when you took so much. So, all right, Safa Farhamad. Sorry if I butcher your name again. Says, "Hey Justin, it's the pronunciation lore guy. How do you live with yourself continually pronouncing Dwemer as Dwemer?" What unholy power allows you to keep mispronouncing it? Did you make a pact with Sheogorath, Daedric Prince of Madness, or Molag Bal, Daedric Prince of Torture? Okay, this is a tough one because I know it's Dwemer. Like, I know in my head it's Dwemer. Why do I keep saying Dwemer?
The
Uh,
white trash in you.
yeah, it could be the white trash. It just wants to mispronounce everything. But also, I mean, part of it is the fact that, like, constantly running commentary while playing is good for my game, but sometimes I just run off the rails because I start down a train of thought and I lose track of what I'm thinking because I'm also trying to calculate where I should be doing on the board. So that's probably why I lose track of it. By the way, thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. We got a bunch of new cards coming into the game, so if I butcher their names for the next week, please help me.
Cool T0531 asks, what gave you the motivation to start your YouTube channel? I have been pondering about launching my own, maybe if I get a better PC. So that's the first question.
Okay, nobody else was doing it. I created some decks in closed beta that were popular. People were interested in my opinion, asking me questions. I was in a medical study and got paid in Target gift cards. So we were at Target one day after we'd like run out of things to buy at Target, and we still had tons of Target gift cards left.
Yeah, I bet you asked me what we needed.
Yeah.
Like equipment.
Yeah, I asked her what we would need to upload to YouTube, and we bought the cheapest webcam there.
Cheapest webcam, cheap
Cheap
headphones,
headphones.
a free, like, recording, which is what we're using
Yeah,
to record
I
this.
asked guys on there how to do it, and the moment in particular was I was in this tournament for Elder Scrolls Legends, and they were having to walk me through everything and record through my screen on Skype my voice or something like that. I don't even really understand. I don't know a whole lot about computers in general, but it seemed a lot easier since I had access to these Target gift cards that I could do it myself. So I kept doing it because everybody was so cool, and I had a lot of fun chatting and interacting with people. And even the times I don't have time to respond, I read all the comments and all the messages. So
Yeah, we read every single message, private message, and emails that we get. It's just a matter of responding.
yeah, we're busy people.
That's it. And his second question is, what is the most special thing you love in one another?
You wanna go first?
Yes.
What do you got?
I like that you pay attention to me. And that you like talking to me.
I do like talking to you and pay attention to you. What do I love about you? I love your heart. Like, you don't go out of your way to let people know how like genuine and positive you are, but you are super genuine and positive, and you're really nice. And we want to do the same things with our lives, and it's nice. And I also like that we don't have a whole lot of. We have as much in common as we don't have in common. So like we fit together nicely, but we also complement each other.
That's true.
So you make me a more efficient and effective and good Justin Larson.
You went from Justin Larson to the Justin Larson.
Okay, yeah, about that. The only reason this is the Justin Larson is because Justin Larson was taken.
Yeah, he has like a Yoda profile picture.
Yeah, so
I see him.
ask that guy what he's doing. Not my fault.
Ready? And then let's see your question.
Kalabi asks.
He asked if we're doing fine. We are.
Yeah, it says, hope you guys are doing fine. We're doing great. Then he asks, if you could create a card for the Elder Scrolls Legends, what would it be? And second, if it's okay to ask, do you have any higher goals in your life right now? I applied to a master's program. I start in the fall for a master's in clinical psychology so I can get licensed to diagnose people with mental health problems. And because it represents a lot more money. And, it's something I can do while still working in the same fields I'm working in now. So I'm starting that. That's my goal right now. If I could create a card for Elder Scrolls Legends, oh man. I'm a little bummed because like for a while now on the channel I've been talking about how I wanted to create quests, like Daedric quests for Elder Scrolls Legends. So to see Hearthstone doing a shitty version of that with their new expansion is kind of a bummer. If I could create a card, I got some simple ideas. I want an orc with last gasp draw a card. I would take a 2/2 for 2 purple orc with last gasp draw a card. That would make me happy. Beyond that, I would need more time to think about it. I liked seeing the rule setting mechanics in red that Garnag represents. I made a video a few months ago about how I wanted to see a card that changed the cost of everything and said you couldn't have more than 12 Magicka. So the fact that they had the balls to go ahead and make it 7 Max Magicka is really cool to me. and I like it a lot. So maybe some kind of prison red type card.
Alright. Wait, I want to create a card. Hold on. I did notice I would like another girl character. I don't know what she would do. Possibly with black hair. And I need to think about this more.
Lydia.
And I'm like, no, not Lydia. No, I imagine her. Just more girl characters. And more Khajiit.
Maybe that female vampire from Skyrim who followed us around for
Yeah,
a while.
that one.
Okay.
I liked her. And
Christian Rapan asks, have you ever attempted to create your own collectible card game? I mean, you have lots of ideas and experience with them, and you have the beautiful Sandy by your side who's very talented in the field of arts. Would that be something you might consider trying as a career choice? Um, so like I said, I really enjoy what I do. If somebody offered me an opportunity to design some cards, I'd probably do that too. Like, don't get me wrong, I love what I do, but I would probably find a way to make it both work. I got no problem working a lot. Have I ever attempted before? Some of us in prison adapted Star Wars characters to World of Warcraft collectible card game mechanics. So, we did that. We also came up with a couple, like a full block of magic cards. It was a multicolor tribal block where each of the 10 color combinations had a tribe. Like red green was dinosaurs. Just because we thought it'd be fun, and then we did some tournaments with those cards, and that was a blast too. So I have done that before. I also spend some time like thinking about Magic card creation, and I've spent some time thinking about Elder Scrolls card creation too. So
yeah, I think for both of us, we love our career, our future career. Our ideal career is that we work in the field we like, get paid good enough money for us to spend more time doing hobbies like this. So
yeah, I mean, hopefully 10 years from now we both have private practice,
mm-hmm.
working as psychotherapists. I mean, like
Yeah.
as professional mental health clinicians, because being a psychotherapist is easy.
Mm.
Getting being able to bill Medicaid is technically hard and requires a master's degree.
Alrighty, and last, but certainly not least, from Charmer, he gave us Larson lightning round questions.
Thanks, Charmer.
So here we go. Pirates or ninjas?
Ninjas,
Robots or aliens?
aliens,
Cake or pie? Pie.
pie,
Light side or dark side?
Light
Dark
side.
side. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Dogs. Pancakes or waffles? Waffles.
Pancakes,
Marvel or DC? DC.
Marvel. Although Vertigo is the best of those options, I didn't read DC as a kid. I read Marvel.
Burgers or tacos? Burgers.
Burgers.
Favorite season? Winter.
Yeah, winter.
Favorite book? Norwegian Wood.
Favorite book in general? I don't know. A book by Thich Nhat Hanh. Like, who knows? One of his.
Favorite movie?
Oh, Man's Search for Meaning.
Yep.
By
Oh,
Viktor
that's right.
Frankl. That's my favorite book.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? The Beach.
Norwegian Wood. Favorite non-card game?
We've been playing a lot of Gwent, Jesus.
Clank.
Clank. We've been playing a lot of Clank lately, so I really enjoy
I
that.
love Clank.
Non-card game. I also love Civilization 5 and 6. So
I like Sims. Also. A favorite pizza topping? Mushrooms.
pineapple.
That was the part too. Are you a pineapple person? I am.
Oh yeah, I eat pineapple on my pizza. My ideal pizza is thin crust with pineapple, garlic, lots of red onions, lots of green onions, green olives, not black olives, green olives, and jalapenos.
My ideal pizza is hand toss, like triple the amount of sauce on there, cheese, olives, black olives, mushroom, pineapple, spinach, diced tomatoes, and just burn it. There we go. And your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Donatello.
Michelangelo. Who is your favorite content creator and why is it Charmer? Because he's charming.
Why? Who is my favorite content creator and why is it Charmer? Charmer is enthusiastic, cares about the game, really nice and well spoken, and thinks out his answers before he says them. I've deleted a bunch of Reddit posts. I don't know that he's deleted any.
Thank you for your questions, Charmer. And thank you for everybody
Yeah, thanks to all
who
of you
asked.
for participating in this. Thank you for reaching 2,700 subscribers now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Our next Q&A will be at 3,500, so maybe we'll get there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, and I'll see you on the ladder.